Hi you guys, thanks for coming to my channel. My name's Natasha. This is my first ever YouTube makeup tutorial, and I thought it would be best to do my everyday get ready with me so you guys could kind of get to know me better and you guys could get some tips and tricks on some everyday makeup that you might not have heard before. And I think this tutorial is pretty useful for every day, going to work, going to school, something quick in the mornings where you still look put together without putting too much effort in or showing that you put too much effort in. So I hope you guys enjoy, and if you like this look, please keep on watching and I will see you guys later. Thanks, bye. Okay, so first thing I start off with is the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion. I've been using this since high school. I love it. It's the only thing that keeps my dry skin hydrated because I do have very, very dry skin. And this is the one product that really, really helps to keep away dry patches and everything like that. The eye cream that I use is the Garnier Skin Active Ultra Lift Anti-Wrinkle Firming Eye Cream. Right there. And I used to not use any eye cream and just put on some moisturizer. However, having such dry skin made me realize that that's not a good idea because the skin around your eyelids is so much drier. Correction, well, actually it is drier, but it's so much thinner than the skin on your face that it tends to get drier a lot easier. And I know I'm not the gentlest around my eye area. I'm working on it. Next, for primer, I use the Nivea Men Sensitive Post Shave Balm. I really do like this stuff. It's extremely cheap. Not 100% sure how much it is, but this entire bottle is 3.3 fluid ounces, and I don't believe I paid over $10 for it. Sorry if I keep looking this way. My mirror is over here. That's why I keep looking that way. You want to make sure to really rub this product in until it's tacky, because that's when you're going to get the best primer usage out of it. When it's tacky, your product will stick to it and it will act as that good base to keep your makeup on and keep your makeup lasting and looking good. For foundation, my products are on my lap, so I use the Makeup Forever HD Stick Foundation. I really, really like this stuff. I didn't think I would because it is a stick foundation. I was a little worried that it would be too drying for me. But I got married in May, and I went to Sephora beforehand, like the month beforehand, and tried out a ton of different products and sampled a ton of different products, a ton of different foundations. And this is the one I ended up liking better than all the others that I tried. So I put that on my eyelids, put it all over. I am in the color 117. I'm very pale. If you haven't noticed, I'm extremely pale. And I use a beauty blender to is a fly in my room and it's driving me insane. So if you see the fly make an appearance, I do apologize. Few little spots on my forehead, and this foundation is full coverage. I do blend this out with my finger before I fully blend it out with a beauty blender. So for underneath the eyes, I use the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. I do really like this. I don't find that it totally stops my concealer from creasing, but it does a pretty good job. For all over the face, I use the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in Light. I'm almost out of it. I've hit pan. This is a crown brush from a set on Groupon that I bought. It's called the Flat Bronzer Brush, but it's just a nice flat shape, which I appreciate for all over. Okay, to bronze up my face and to add a little bit of color back, because I am pretty washed out, I use the Smashbox, and this is called the Fusion Soft Lights in Baked Starburst. Now, obviously, I am very close to running out of this. I have a new one, so, and I will link it below so you guys can see what it's supposed to look like. But this product's really nice. It has a dark bronzer color, a lighter bronzer color, and then a blushy type color, and all three are a little bit shimmery, but they're not overly shimmery to where it's gonna look like you put highlighter all over your face. So I really like this product because it's easy. I don't have, when I'm doing my everyday makeup, I don't contour usually. Some days I will because I just am in the mood. But for most days, I just am not in the mood to contour every single day. So this is a really easy product because it gives me back that little bit of shadow, but it also adds a little bit of glow, and it adds a little bit of color and life back to my face without me having to use a bunch of different products to achieve the same thing that this one product can. Now I apply it on top of my nose, so it's not really like a contour because I'm not contouring my nose fully. I just want to add a little bit to the top to make it look like I got a little bit of sun, even though I didn't. So I really like that product. I think it also comes in a darker color if you're a little bit more tan than me, which, let's be honest, most people are. The blush that I use on a daily basis usually is something to this effect, and this is my favorite blush, as it is everybody's favorite blush. This is Milani Luminoso. It is the prettiest, peachy, glowy. It really does work for every skin tone because I've seen girls use it that are so much darker than me, and it just is so flattering. Excuse me, bangs. Can you not get in my way? It's so flattering. I kind of touch it all over because I just love it. It's the prettiest, most flattering shade ever. The brush that I'm using is an Up and Up Target brush. Oh, I forgot to mention, I actually use another Up and Up Target brand brush. This is the one I use for underneath my eyes. I love these brushes. It is a little wobbly on the base because I've had it for a while, and they're not the best quality, but they don't shed. They're $3, I think, or something crazy. I mean, they're not the best quality, like I said, but they work, and I've had these for quite a while, and if I need to replace them, it's no big deal. You just stop by Target and pick up a new one, and it's not going to cost you a ton of money. So I really do like these brushes, and they're unique shapes. I don't see many of this shape of brush. Okay, so for highlighter, I use Becca Moonstone, which I think is the best color for pale skin tones. It is so beautiful. It's like that snowy, goldeny, just perfect if you're pale. Being dry skinned, I love that highlighters are in right now because it gives me an excuse to make my skin look extra, extra glowy, which I probably would do anyway, but oh, I just love that glow. Oh, I love Becca Moonstone. The brush I'm using is from Japanesque. I do like this brush. It's got the same handle as like those Nars fancy brushes. This was $20-something. I don't know if it was worth the $20-something for just a fan brush. It is a nice size. It's not too huge. But like I said, not sure it was worth the $20-something I paid for it. Both. So for brows, I used to use the Anastasia Brow Wiz, which I really did like. However, I was like, there needs to be a cheaper dupe for this. There just has to be. So I looked around and I found the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, and I love it. It's got a spoolie on one end and the thin little pencil on the other. Now, I don't do a ton to my brows because I just don't really feel like I need to, especially for every day. I just kind of keep them simple. So I just kind of fill in where they're sparse. So this product is perfect. Next, I'm going to use, don't know if you guys can see me because I have to bend over. Where did my brush go? There it is. I'm going to be using the Modern Renaissance palette for my eyeshadows. Sorry, it's so dirty. It's velvety, and so it gets kind of gross. The first color I'm going to be using is Tempera. Okay, so for the lid, I love Urban Decay's Sin eyeshadow. This is my go-to eyeshadow for every day. And I'm going to take that on a MAC 239 brush, which is just a flat shade brush. Doesn't help if it's the same color as my skin. And I just pack that all over the lid. This color is just a nice champagne-y, pinky, just gives a nice natural shimmer to the lids without being too glittery. A good dupe for this that looks very similar on the lids is Bella Champagne from Milani. If you're looking for a more inexpensive option, that's a really good dupe. Next, I'm continuing with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Renaissance palette. And in the crease, I'm going to be taking, where did it go? Warm Taupe right there. Excuse the not done nails. And I'm going to be taking that on an E25 brush from Sigma, which is just the perfect smaller crease blender brush. I'm just taking that in windshield wiper motions all the way in to the inner corner. Because my eyes are rounded, I can get away with bringing it in a little further. If you want to open your eyes more, you're gonna want to probably stop about here. I take it in to about there and just kind of blend it out. Don't worry, we're gonna be doing a lot of blending. Okay, speaking of blending, I'm going to take another crown brush that I have. It doesn't have a name. It's just this fluffier blending brush. And it has no color on it. And I'm just gonna softly blend that out. Diffuse the edges, not fuse them. That doesn't make sense. What does that mean? And then on a small pencil brush, this is from Eco Tools, I'm going to take Cypress Umber, which is a pigment that people in the Renaissance days used to paint with, I found out, and just softly redefine that crease. It's a little tiny version of a cut crease, except way softer. So I'm not going to take that all the way down to here because I am going to be putting on some eyeliner right there. So it doesn't really matter if I have anything right there specifically. And then I'm going to take my blender brush and just go back over that and diffuse it out some more. So you will have that depth there still from the darker Cypress Umber color, but it won't be as harsh as if you were actually trying to cut the crease. I'm going to take some more of that warm taupe on the Sigma brush, reapply that, and then blend again. Let's go back in with your highlighter color and just soften out those edges some more. Okay, I'm gonna try really hard to do this on camera. I did this eye off camera, but I'm gonna try really hard to get this on camera. I'm using the tattoo liner from Kat Von D. So I kind of start in the middle and then do my outer corner wing and then connect it from there. So you've got that little triangle there. What I do is I take a makeup remover. This is a Bobbi Brown one. The end of the brush, and this is why it's important to have a pretty sharp brush. And then I just clean up that little line right there. And this also without using tape cleans up your outer edge of your eyeshadow. So then, after that, I go back in with my concealer, touch up the outer corners a little bit, re-add the powder that I used, the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, and then I'll show you another trick that I have. Then, because you can see my pores a little bit more, because I added so many shimmery things to my little area that has big pores. Anyway, I add a little bit of this and that kind of remattifies everything and hides my pores once again. So for finishing spray, I use the NYX Dewy Finish. Okay, now I'm gonna do mascara off camera because that is just too difficult to do on camera, but I do use the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. So a little tip, if you get mascara on your eyelid, like I just did, is if you wait a minute for it to dry and then try to smudge it off, it'll come right off. If you don't wait until it dries and you try to smudge it off while it's wet, then it'll just smear and mess up your makeup. So I'm gonna wait a minute to smudge that off, and I'll show you guys how easy it is to get it off if you just wait until it's dry, which I know is really hard to do because I just want it off, but I'll show you in a second. Okay, so it should be dry. And there you go, all done. So for lipstick, I'm gonna be using MAC's Creme de Nude, and mine sadly melted because it was really hot one day and I don't know where it was. I think it was in the car, but so this is my everyday makeup. This is what I wear on a typical day. If I'm just running errands, going and hanging out with friends, I don't need anything too dramatic. Going to work, you still want to look put together, but you don't want to look too dramatic, like you have too much makeup on. So I think this is a nice glowy kind of look that you can wear every day and just slap on. And once you get the hang of it, it's very fast. Not too many products. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this and got some helpful hints and tips and tricks and all that sort of good stuff. I'd love it if you guys subscribed because I am starting out, and I would really love it if you guys came back and watched more videos, and if you found me helpful, then that's great. Let me know what you guys thought of this video. Give me feedback on lighting, on setup. I'm trying to figure out a background. This is my bed, so I'm trying to figure out background and lighting and audio and all that sort of good stuff. So give me feedback, let me know what you guys liked, what you didn't like, and let me know how I can improve. And I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.